Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. And welcome to another exciting episode of the Just Seen podcast. And today I got a nice impromptu for you. Uh, and as you can see, it's about lust. Um, the reason I want to talk about this is because I seen this post and I had to repost the shit. It was talking about basically like love, and until you truly understand what love is, then everything else is gonna be an illusion or whatever the case may be, basically, right? But more than that, you'll just be lusting over things because one of the roots and one of the biggest situations regarding love and understanding how love works, not even love, just anything in life. If you do not have a concrete definition that you thoroughly comprehend about something, then everything else is really just semantics. You're paying attention to details of it, and you can easily be swayed and manipulated with it because you don't have a solid definition with it. When it comes to masculinity, I define masculinity as the spiritual, mental, and physical embodiment of the essence of analysis and deconstruction. Outside of that, most people, most men, most topics on masculinity have no definition. Excuse me. And this is one of the things that set me apart from them because it's like, um, when you ask somebody talking about masculinity to define it, like this is why I don't get into no arguments, no debates, no motherfucker. Oh, I want to debate you about masculinity, whatever the case may be. All right, define it. Well, like masculinity is like, nope, we already ain't talking. I have a concrete definition that I stand on because when you define something, now you know what realm you play in with it. And when you know what realm you play in with it, you start to develop and learn what aspects are there. So when we define love, right, we need to actually have a definition for it. Do you have to use my definition? No, I don't. You don't have to. You can use Webster's definition for whatever the case may be. But I define love as the power for betterment through correction, right? When you truly love something, the correct behavior there to make it better is going to be there. You feel what I'm saying? And we don't look at love like that. You feel what I'm saying? Even when you try to describe, um, even if you try to use Webster's definition, I don't know because I ain't got my phone or nothing with me. This on the fly, this impromptu and shit. So I don't know the definition off rip. But even if you try to define it, like we still live through life in details. Well, love is like when I feel like this, or when this. No, no, no. Love is not a feeling. Love is a power. Love is a power that you use and you utilize. You feel what I'm saying? It is not a feeling that you get. You feel what I'm saying? That's lust, right? That is lust. And that's one of the things that we often misinterpret because we only attribute lust to sex, right? We only attribute lust to sex, and that's not the case. Lust is deeper than that. And it's because we attribute it to sex. Notice that I said attribute. We don't define it as sex. We attribute lust to sex with still no definition of it, right? And in that, because we don't have a definition of it, we can't comprehend lust. So we cannot see the moments we are being lustful. We cannot see the moments when we're being lusted over fully because we think if somebody's lusting over us, it's, oh, they want to fuck us. They think they're treating us like a piece of meat. Lust goes beyond sex. You feel me? Lust goes beyond sex. Lust is, I'm going to define it like this. Lust is the addiction that is predicated by desire. Lust is the addiction to something that is predicated by desire. I'm liable to not remember that definition as we go through the rest of this podcast, but this is the moment that I said it. So when I say lust, this is what I'll be referring to. The addiction that is predicated by desire. That is when you lust over something. Right. So it can tie into your programming, it can tie into whatever. And a lot of us believe that lust is love. We treat lust as love. I just want to be loved. I want to be desired. I want to be all these things. You want something or somebody to have an addiction over you that is predicated by desire for you. You feel what I'm saying? This is why a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people have kids out of that. It's like, I just want somebody to love me. Do you really want somebody to love you? Because if love is the power for betterment that leads to correction, right? You would ideally want somebody to make you better. But a lot of people only want to remain the same and get into relationships to remain the same. That means that they're in lust. they're looking for lustful relationships. But because we think lust is just about sex and we have not truly defined it and have a foundation to build on, it gets lost in translation and it's hard to come back to. So, we here at the Impromptu for Lust. But before we dive heavy into that, be sure to follow me on Instagram at _just_scene_. Be sure to check out my website at iamjustseen.com to get all things that are just seen. To all those who tip, donate, and sponsor the podcast, you are greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. To all those who would like to tip, donate, and sponsor the podcast, you can do so by clicking the link in the description of your podcast. Not the episode, but the podcast itself. Cash App and PayPal are fine, and you also have the option for listener support. Now, that's that for this, and that's this for that. My bad, I had a brain fart. That's that for this, and that's this for that. And we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna dive into impromptu pop-ups. I don't even know what number this is, like 20 something, I think. 22, I believe. Perfect number. Impromptu pop-ups 22 Lust. And don't forget to visit iamjustseen.com. There, you can get all things Just Seen. You want to add the So For Real series to your library? Visit iamjustseen.com. You want to learn how to master the markets for serious trading and investing? Visit iamjustseen.com. You want to get your hands on some exclusive merch like tees, hoodies, coffee mugs, hats, bags? Visit iamjustseen.com. Are you thinking about transitioning into the plant-based lifestyle? Visit iamjustseen.com. You ever want to just chat with Scene about anything from simple advice to mentorship? Visit iamjustseen.com. Anything and everything that is me, you can find at iamjustseen.com. So take a quick peek into my world to see why being just seen is nothing less but always more. Because you never really know what you need until you see it, and you will never see it unless you visit iamjustseen.com. All right. Welcome back. And without further ado, we're going to dive heavy into it. So, as I was saying, lust is something that lust is the addiction that is predicated by desire, right? It's not a real thing. It's a facade because lust stops when the desire stops. Because once the desire is gone, you have no reason to be addicted. Damn. Hey, yo. And look, let me tell you where this information comes from. This is like when I be talking about shit about how I can make connecting pieces from certain shit, I can learn something and I can tie it to another thing. This is what I'm talking about. So this concept came because, as I said, I'm trying to quit smoking. Right. No. Let me rephrase that. I'm about to quit smoking. Right. And in the steps that are developing it, I had to realize that I had developed a desire to smoke. You feel me? For whatever it was, which ultimately led to the addiction. Right. And so when I look at lust and everything, and with that definition coming into it, it's like that had to be unlocked to make that connection, but it had to be that medium had to be used. But anyway, back to the topic. So when that thing or whatever no longer desires you, it's no longer going to be addicted to you. You feel me? Like we hear conversations where people say shit like, "Oh, I want somebody who's going to be all about me." Pay attention. Listen to the rhetoric. Listen to the words that we use when we talk about relationships and how we want to be with somebody. We rarely talk about, "I want somebody who's going to draw the best out of me. I want somebody who's going to bring me to my absolute self." We say, "I want somebody who is going to be all about me. I want somebody to lust over me." But don't lust sexually. Lust every way else, but just don't love sexually because then that's when the spark is gone. That's when we're no longer compatible and because it can't just be about sex. You're right. It can't just be about sex. But when you have a lustful situation that you believe is love, you perceive as love, is just deep lust that is tied to all dynamics of who you are, then that can make you stay stagnant. You don't grow with that because what that person desires, you have to remain. Oh, in my Braxton voice. Like this is why, like, when women gain weight and shit, and dudes be like, "Yeah," I'm gonna use a perfect example. On The Game, Jason Pitts, he had had a prenup with Kelly, and he said he put in there a no fatty clause, like she couldn't gain weight, right? Because what I'm marrying you for, this is the desire that's gonna make me addicted to you. It's gonna keep me addicted to you. The moment you gain weight, that's it. That's it. So if we change our perception of our reality and we actually have these definitions working for us, and then we're able to see them in real time, then we can apply them better. You feel what I'm saying? So like when we look at love, it's different, like, because somebody can gain weight, but the correction is I don't like that you gain weight. So rather than the fact that I'm gonna lose desire, therefore lose my addiction, it's like, okay, let's correct this behavior. You feel me? Let's correct this behavior. What do I have to do to ensure that I keep loving you? And by loving you, keep putting the right correction in to make you a better person. Right? That's love. That's what people want. But people simultaneously want love but don't want to leave a comfort zone. Only thing that thrives in a comfort zone is lust. Love doesn't thrive in your comfort zone. Love continually pushes you out of your comfort zone. Booyah. Shit's wild, right? But it be right there, like in your face and shit. You know what I'm saying? When you know that you really around something or somebody that loves you, you're gonna feel very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. Low key, I'm not trying to be funny and just like, but I always gotta come with alternate perspectives. Um, if you are comfortable in love, you ain't in love. You're in lust. I'm gonna say that again. If you are comfortable, motherfucker, if you are comfortable in love, you're not in love, you're in lust. Because love is uncomfortable because it brings us to depths of ourselves. It makes us face shit. It makes us grow and develop and transform. That's when you are really motherfucking loved. Some people just want to be tolerated. Some people want to be lusted over. But not many people want to be loved because it requires you to be better. It requires you to be better. It requires you to become a better version of yourself. Right? Lust requires you to remain who you are at that pinnacle, at the highest pinnacle of who you are. You can't fall off for shit. You feel me? I had a conversation with a pregnant woman one time, and she said, "Am I beautiful?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "I'm gaining weight, and I'm not looked at as if I'm beautiful anymore because I'm getting fat." And I looked at her dead in her motherfucking soul, and I said, "If you, if gaining weight, by the way, because I know y'all don't see me and shit. I just post and go, and y'all don't really know my internal personal life. I don't have any kids on the way. This is not so. I'm not talking to somebody that I got pregnant. All right, but anywho, so I'm telling them like, you have a life in your body. There's nothing more beautiful than that. The weight can change and fluctuate and grow, but my perspective, I look at it like this, and this is love. This is how you perceive things out of love sometimes. Well, this is how I perceive things out of love, not you. I'm not gonna say you because y'all can do whatever the fuck y'all want to do. But this is how I perceive out of love, knowing that love is as defined as the power for betterment through correction, right? So I'm like, yo, you have a life in your body. Fuck if you're gaining weight. Don't look at it as gaining weight because we put the negative stigma to weight or whatever the case may be. But don't look at it as weight. Look at this. My body. No, look at it like this. This is what my body must endure to bring this life into. There's no more beauty. Like fuck weight at that point. That's beauty. If you have read Sophia 3, when I talk about the tree of life and I talk about your the sixth sphere. No, tree of life and RE2. But when specifically all right, the RE2 chapter. When I talk about the sixth, is it the RE2? No, I'm tripping. It is the tree of life. My bad, y'all. My brain is on 100 right now. I'm trying to stay on topic without getting distance off. And this is an impromptu. So anyway, the sixth sphere of the tree of life of is called Tifereth, right? And it is themed with beauty, right? Beauty. And beauty is not your aesthetic appeal. Beauty is pretty much like it gets to the full dynamic and the mastery of yourself. It's accomplishment, the deepest level of accomplishment to tap into who you really are. And the sixth sphere itself sits at the third chakra, which is the solar plexus, which is your personal identity. That's who you are at the sixth sphere. Right, you know what I'm saying? But that's where beauty is. And beauty is being able to see the absolute of something. You feel me? See something absolutely. Not from an extreme of it's ugly or it's cute, it's high, slow. No, the absolute that all of these things make the full thing of it. You dig what I'm saying? And if we can't see it like that, then there's not much beauty in it. But because we've been taught more so to lust over the extreme of an appeal of a dual. We've been taught to lust over the positive duality of beauty rather than love the totality of beauty. So As I'm explaining to her, like, yo, you got a whole life in your body. Your body has literally gone through all of these transformations for a life. You feel what I'm saying? This is what was necessary to make sure this life came into reality healthily. Fuck the other bullshit. Fuck the weight that you gain. As a man, I got to see that when you're carrying my child, this is what your body, like, that's beauty. I got to love that shit forever because you were willing to do that, to go half on a baby with me. You feel me? That's beauty because that's the absolute of it. It's not, oh, she gaining weight, she getting fat. She's supposed to. Her body is changing to accommodate the life that you two are bringing into this world together. You can whip that shit back into shape later, but for right now, this is the vessel to bring in life. And this is what this vessel looks like. That shit's beautiful than a motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? But in our minds, because we're so programmed for lust, you feel me? The addiction predicated by desire, we're so wired to that we can't see the love in a thing because it's the correction. It's the power for betterment through correction, right? But we look at love as it shouldn't be work, you know. We look at it as a deep feeling of these things that are just supposed, like, lust is the fuel that feeds narcissism. I'm gonna say that one more motherfucking time. Lust is the fuel that feeds narcissism. So when I tell people, when people say shit like, oh, they fucked with a narcissist, well, you are a lust driven person. That's why that narcissist found you. You fed them, you were their food. So when people say moths to a flame type shit, like narcissists are like moths to a flame, what is the flame? Like, we can talk about semantics and we can make euphemisms and have the parallelisms and all this shit and play the semantics, but what does it really mean to say the shit that you say? A moth to the flame. So what is the flame that attracts them? The flame is lust. How was the narcissist attracted to you if you did not have lust in you? Like I said, because we have not defined it, we only associate lust with sex. Therefore, we do not associate lust with addiction to desire or addiction predicated by desire. We don't associate it with that at all. So the narcissist it comes into our lives to reflect that, to say, this is the lesson. Understand what your flame is. So now you have to retool yourself and retrain yourself to understand what love really is. Because all our lives we're programmed that lust is love. So when we get with the narcissistic person who says the condescending shit, who says the things that don't make us feel good, they say those things with the intent. I ain't gonna say with the hope, with the intent that you remain this way so I can remain addicted to you. It's a moment of silence. You can hear a rat pissing on cotton with that one. That's a pin drop. You feel me? That's how those relationships play out. Because we can't see our own part in it. Oh, I'm a good person. I'm this. Why did this happen to me? No, you're a person who has gotten used to people being addicted to you, people desiring you, people having a desire for you and becoming addicted to you. And what, granted, you may be doing good things in the world. That's why they become addicted to you. They're drawn to your light. But because you have not differentiated the difference, I mean, the separation between love and lust, because you have not, I ain't gonna say you, we on the collective have not defined love or lust and actively set up a world to see, okay, this is what these two things embody. We're blurring the lines. And what we think is love is really lust. And we're lusting over things. And we're like, why can't I be lusted? And then why can't I be lusted over for long? Why does, like, when they look at relationships where somebody really loves somebody, it's like these two people got better over time. When we look at those 40, 50, I know I talk about 40, 50, 60 year relationships a lot, but this is what we talk about. So when we talk about those 40, 50, 60 year relationships, right? And there was no growth, there was a lot of lust. The desire was gone a long time ago. It'd be 10, 50. It's been a long time since you touched me. I don't desire you anymore. But that's what we got married for. That's what we built on. I desired you for about 2, 3 years. The desire made me propose. The desire made me want to get married. The desire made me get the wedding dress and all of that shit. That's what the desire did. Then we became addicted to it. That's lust. Till we got married, till we have kids, till we like, and a lot of the things that we do out of lust are things that we try to make stair steps to keep it in. So, for example, we'll do things like, they have situations where people will, women and men will impregnate or get impregnated by, um, let me just say that because I don't want to blur any lines because y'all know how 2022 has been going and shit. Um, for those who can impregnate and those who can't be impregnated, right? You feel what I'm saying? When a relationship gets to a certain point, it's like, okay, let me have a baby because we ain't growing. We can't do anything anymore. There's something that has to spark in order to, I need to reinvigorate myself. I need something else now to lust over me or to bring back my addiction to this person. Sometimes, oh, seeing this person act as a father or seeing this person act as a mother or seeing like, you know what I mean? It's like, or I'm just cold. This now I have something to love me. No, you have something to lust over you. You have something to lust over you. And that's why children can get caught up in a fucked up situation because again, let's take away from the fact that lust is beyond sex. Lust is the desire that is lust is addiction predicated by desire. I keep fucking it up because I'm trying to remember what I said because this is like not written down. But y'all following me. Lust is the addiction that is predicated by desire. We want our children like that. This is why we end up pushing them to school, to go down the career path that we went down, live the same life that we did if we failed at it or whatever the case may be, or we couldn't get to it. We want our children to embody that because of lust, because if they do that, then they, by proxy, desire us. When your child follows in your footsteps, you create a reality that they desire me. Don't even know that you created this lustful reality because all we think of lust as is sex. I'm not fucking my kid. You feel me? But you're making your kid lust over you. You're making your kid formulate an addiction predicated by desire for you. The desire to be you, desire to be what you want them to be, desire to not let you down. And motherfuckers wonder why we people pleasers. They wonder why we people pleasers. It's a form of lust. It's derived in a lust driven reality. Because if you truly loved someone, if it was a love driven reality, there would be no such thing. There would be no need for people pleasing. Because love is the power for betterment through correction. That's why love is not always good. Lust is always good and tasty. Lust always feels good because it's designed to feed addiction, the addiction of desire. You feel what I'm saying? That's what lust is. It's designed for the feeding of an addiction. Love isn't. Love breaks addictions. You feel me? That's why love isn't always good. Love has its bad moments because love leads to correction, but it's for the betterment. Love always leads to betterment. You can lose, something can hurt your feelings, something can be bad for you that can lead you into a better perspective of life. You feel what I'm saying? Me being raised without my father led to the So Frail series, but it took self love to do that. Self lust. I was in a very self lustful situation in the beginning before all of the breakthrough happened. There was nothing wrong with me. Yeah, I was raised without a father. I was gonna try to. That lust led to me trying to do shit out of spite, not for the actual reality of what I wanted, what I needed to do in this world. You feel what I'm saying? But those things are like I said, how the reality plays out. Like people have kids because they're gonna be cute. If me and you have cute kids, if I'm cute, you cute, we're gonna have some cute babies. I want you to like. When I was young, I used to hear like my homies tell the baddie that they finally got or some shit like that. And like we all had hoes and we all pulled them frequently. But like when you got that one, it was just like, yo, man, she gonna have my baby. I want to put a baby in her. For what? For what? For the addiction that is predicated by the desire that you have right now. Because now look at all the programs. She fits all of the dimensions 34, 24, 36. She's a bad bitch by regular standards. You know what I'm saying? She's cute. She's cute. She's whatever. Ideal on paper. She's what you're supposed to lust over. When does that turn into correction? It doesn't. This is why it's easy to cheat. This is why it's easy to cheat, men and women. But this is also, in the same token, why it's easy to not cheat. Because both cheating and not cheating are derivatives of lust in some way, shape, or form. You don't cheat because that being or whatever the case may be that you're dealing with does not it's still feeding the addiction. The desire is still there, therefore the addiction is still fed. However, when one decides to step out, that addiction is gone. That addiction is not being fed there and it needs to be fed elsewhere. You feel what I'm saying? It needs to be fed elsewhere. And this is why I say this on both sides, because you have the people that say, well, I don't cheat. I thought about it and I had opportunities, but I didn't cheat. Or whatever the case may be. You just abstained from it. Because you just chose not to feed your addiction. You just chose to let your addiction starve. That doesn't necessarily equate to good or bad in my book, because I like to look at things from an absolute perspective. But at the same time, we give that moral thing. Like I've seen a lot of people talking about they think they're good people because they don't cheat in relationships. Like the fuck? Like, well, I don't cheat. I don't I don't hit up another weed man when I want some weed. I'm staying right motherfucking here. Oh, you on a drought? Oh, your mans ain't hit you up yet? You ain't read up yet? All right, cool. I just won't smoke till you back on because you're the only person that I smoke from. On the other side of that, you got a motherfucker. Oh, you out of weed? I got another plug. I'm calling him right now. You out? I gotta get it. I gotta get it. The relationship factors like that too, because these are our mentalities, yo. These are our mentalities. So much so that lust runs the society. And it's deeper than sex. The sex is just a detail that is heavily associated with it and made taboo, so everything else is overlooked. You feel what I'm saying? And while everything else is being overlooked, you can't see it. You choose not to see it. You don't see it. You won't see it. You won't open up to truly dissecting that capacity of yourself. You feel me? Lust can lead to impatience. Lust can lead to so many different things that people really don't pay attention to. You feel me? Because lust is an addiction that is predicated by my motherfucking desire. And love is the powerful betterment that leads to correction. You feel me? Think about the situations if you had processed enough of this to conceptualize moments when you lusted and moments when you loved. Like, think about the things in which you couldn't give up. Did they make you better? Really ask yourself that. Or look at the things that you could give up. Did they make you better? Like when people talk about, people be like, when something or somebody leaves your life, if your life improves, then they were like, it was them. Or was it your addictive nature and you just gave up the drug? The desire to have that drug is gone. It's gone now. There's nothing that you can get out of it, so you don't want it anymore. You walk away from it, right? So when you look at love from that perspective, when you look at lust from that perspective, like this is what we're connected to. And this is why I said it's tied to narcissism heavy. So when people say shit like, oh, I can't deal with, like, you reflecting that shit. We're all narcissists. We're built like that. We're built like that. We're all narcissists solely because, and this I think I don't know if I did a podcast episode or it was just a post on social media, whatever the case may be, but I made mention of how damn, where was I going? Um I made mention of my bad. I made mention of narcissism, right? And how narcissism ties into you have good narcissism and bad narcissism, but they're both derived from the root of lust. So the bad narcissism is the one that we actually call narcissism. We put that on the forefront. You feel me? But the good narcissism is, oh, I'm a good person. I got a good heart. I'm just the giver with no boundaries. I'm all of this other shit. Like that's the good narcissism. You make yourself feel good about setting up a world in which you're desired and you get addicted. Like people and things get addicted to you. Nobody wants to address that part. That's what narcissism is. Somehow you got to feed the addiction. Narcissists feed the addiction in a bad way, but the good narcissists, they feed it in a way that makes them feel good. One day I'm gonna have somebody who's gonna be all about me, so I can give them everything that I need, and blah 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 blah. Blah. Nah, it's bullshit. You're still in lust. You want to fall in lust instead of rise in love. That's why falling in love is called falling in love because it's derivative of lust. Lust doesn't make you grow, it doesn't make you ascend, it doesn't make you rise. It makes you stay where the fuck you are or go lower than you are right now. It makes you spin the other motherfucking way. You spiral down. Love makes you spiral up. Lust makes you vibrate down. Love makes you vibrate up. Because love is through correction. Lust is stagnancy. Period. So if we're not willing to grow, if we're not willing to put ourselves in that situation, we cannot be in a situation heavily. So when we say, I want to fall in love, really think about what you're saying. When a motherfucker says, when they tell me they want to fall in love, I ask them why. The moment they tell me why, because I want somebody to care for me. I want somebody to do this. Like everything is about, they want to be addicted. They want to be an addictor. What? No. What's the fucking word? Not an additive. Fuck. They want to be a drug, basically. They want to be what somebody or something is addicted to. They want something's addicted to them at all times. But they don't want to have to maintain desire either. I want you to desire me at all times. Don't just desire me to feed the addiction the addiction you have for me. Don't forget about me when the desire no longer feeds your addiction or it's not enough. I remember I was in a relationship and this woman said, she said the relationship is getting boring. We do the same thing all the time. I need more. She told me she need more. I've had two situations like this where a woman told me that she needed more, right? When you don't know the difference between love and lust, because at the time I'm speaking of, I didn't. When you don't know the difference between love and lust and you think lust is love, then what you end up doing is trying to appease people. That's why I say you got people pleasing and shit. You try to appease people so much so that you give every ounce of yourself completely, right? The first time we broke up, and this is what it was, she was like, I need more. You're not giving me enough or whatever. Now, there's other reasons why she needed more, and it had nothing to do with a relationship. I didn't know shit like this, right? But it was in doing that, like I naturally exhibit the love from the power of correction. Anybody around me gets better, period. I don't keep you the same. I don't give a fuck who you are. You don't come into my space the same. Whether we end good or end bad, you're gonna end better. That's really what it is because there's no lust on my part. I just had never made the distinction and differentiation, right? So I'm taking on lust, and you know what I'm saying, like, and while I'm exhibiting love, but as she's telling me, so we on the phone, and I'm like, because mind you, because I had started working, it was a summer job too. This was so it was a summer job. I'm working 40 hours a week. You feel what I'm saying? I got to work out. I still had class that I had to do and everything like that. I was still calling her, texting her during the day and all these things. She tells me over the summer, and I can't see her because I think I was like sophomore year. I didn't have a car or anything like that. And summer break, so she's at home in the city 2-3 hours away and shit. So She's like, I need more. I need to see you. And this was like way before FaceTime. We didn't even have iPhones. We were Samsung users and shit. But she's like, I need more. I need to see you. I need to touch you and all this. And I'm like, yo, it sounds good hearing that at first. It sounds good hearing that because somebody's addicted to me. They desire me so much that they're addicted. They need me in their space. That feels good. As men, that fucks us up because we internalize that off of a lustful perspective of not by not understanding what lust really is by I need to be depended on rather than I need somebody to know I'm dependable. Totally different things. Those dependable and being dependent on and being dependable are two totally different things. But lust makes us become that who is dependent on. Love makes us become that which is dependable. You feel me? That which is dependable. And when you're dependable, it's because you correct and make situations better. When you're dependent on, it's not necessarily that you make situations worse. However, you feed the addiction by creating the desire. The desire was gone for her because I was not physically there, which led to her the insecurities kicking in of, okay, well, he's going to want to fuck somebody else. He's going to want to do this. Certain shit didn't dawn on me till like we was in a relationship and we went celibate or whatever. And she was like, are you going to step out? No, you feed my addiction. Only you. I created my mind to only you can feed my addiction. You don't have to worry about that. But for her, which is ultimately like why she ended up cheating and shit, I wasn't the only thing that can feed the addiction. And when the addiction, there was too much space within the addiction, she had to get her fixed. Tying it back to the weed metaphor. Some motherfuckers will say, I'm only buying weed from you. If you out, I'm not smoking. And then some motherfuckers is, you out, I'm going to my other plug. Because we're in a lustful society. We're in a lustful state. We're in a lustful perspective of life. So it's not easy to say, until you know what love is, if you've always thought, if you've always experienced the principles of lust tied to being loved. That's why there's no boundaries. It's like whatever I can do to keep the desire up for this addiction to remain. You feel me? So when we broke up, it was she realized what I was feeding with the addiction. It wasn't just physical. We broke up, and I was like, look, yo, this was when we should have stayed broke up because I was like, I can't give you anymore. She's like, what do you mean? You're not giving me enough. I was like, I'm giving you everything I got, and it's not enough. We just got to call it. I can't give you anymore. I said, I have nothing left for me. And then we broke up and shit. She called me back like 2 days later, day and a half later, crying, oh my gosh, I made a mistake. I can't do this. And it's like, I fed into it because she needed me. She said she realized that when times were hard, she had a shoulder. It wasn't just me fucking her good. It was every other thing that made her lust over me. It wasn't just sex. She perceived it to be just physical. I need your physical presence. Nah, it's my essence. Whether I'm there or not, you gonna feel me. And she desired that and she became addicted to it. When times were hard for her, like school was not like I can console her. Like when she had certain things, she was cry. I can make her tears go away, make her feel better. And it's like that's what she realized that she was addicted to. Right. And the thing about the addiction is a lot of people be feeling that they can get it fed somewhere else. They can get that high from somewhere else. And you can't. This blue magic, baby. You feel what I'm saying? And when she did step out to try to feed the addiction, it was like, oh shit, nigga, this fentanyl. Wait a minute. This ain't what? You laced this shit. This shit ain't the same no more. But you stuck. See what the addiction fed? That's what lust is. You feel what I'm saying? The realities of the things that the guy told her and stuff, it was like, oh, those are the same things that I told you. It was no different. You were fed by the same addiction. You feel me? You started to desire that same addiction that you had to feel. But the difference is the highs were different. The highs were different. When you in love, you don't need a high. When you in lust, you gotta stay high all the time. All the motherfucking time. There's no breaks off. There's no days off. There's no you high all the motherfucking time. You feel me? But once that desire stops and you stop getting like now you gotta go to a stronger drug, which is, in relationships, another person. People be thinking they leveled up because this is about to be so fucking cold. People be thinking they leveled up because they are dealing with a stronger drug now. Bars. Real shit. Because when you look at it, when people see their exes move on or whatever the case may be, they first thing they ask is, what do they got that I ain't got? You feel me? How do they what desire do they create that makes you addicted beyond what I could have satisfied? It's crazy shit, yo. It's crazy shit. I faced that dilemma when I got cheated on. I was like, damn, how she like, you feel me? And this is the other side of that. It wasn't that the guy was like, and when I look at it from this perspective, he was a weaker drug than me. I was too potent for her addiction. Way too potent for her addiction. Imagine if you just a casual weed smoker. You smoke like 1 or 2 blunts a month, every 6 months, or only on special occasions like your birthday and when the family come around for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Those are the only times you smoke, right? If you get uh if you happen to get something where you're smoking every single day, you're not going to get that high anymore. In fact, you're going to need a lot higher because your tolerance builds. Literally, you can't be addicted anymore because it doesn't feed your addiction because it's too weak to feed the addiction it once started. So now you have to go to a higher addiction, something higher to get the addiction. We're talking about lust. That becomes the better person. I need to level up. All you're doing is creating a new person that you desire. Creating a new desire for you to lust over. All you keep hearing is get into the markets. But do you trade or do you invest? Should you do stocks, Forex, crypto, or NFTs? My personal answer is not a single one if you don't know how to read a chart. Without knowing how to read a chart, you end up giving all your money to those who do. Do you know what a candle is? Do you know the pocket of activity? Do you know the difference between market direction and market control? If you answer no at least once, you might want to learn how to read a chart first. Learning how to read a chart will let you know if you should trade or invest and if you should do stocks, Forex, crypto, and or NFTs. It will also let you know if this is even for you or not. So visit IamJustSeen.com to learn how to read charts with my Mastering the Market course, ebooks, and webinars today. The world is changing. The question is, will you adapt with it? And people wonder why can't they get it right? Because you're treating the shit like a drug, but you don't know that you're treating it like a drug. Because where's the correction? Because it's like when you look at the level up, chances are that person stayed the same. They stayed the same. And, this person's doing me a little bit better. You feel me? And it's always off of the same shit. Like, what are the things that this person does that I don't do that makes you remain addicted to them? That's the question we ask our exes for those of us who do. What did they have over me that I ain't have? Like, the addiction. My addiction changed. You're not the drug that's strong enough anymore. Now I'm gonna tie it into because I know I always say this, but this is gonna be an opposite side, like I'm contradicting myself. I'm only contradicting myself for the sake of this conversation, right? But this is this is why people just quote unquote happen to cheat. It was a mistake. I didn't know I was gonna do it. Like, I don't think people like have you ever really been addicted to something? To feed that addiction, it don't matter who's the fuck is in the way or what the problem is. You're gonna feed that addiction. Lust is tied to addiction. Period. You feel me? and it's predicated by desire. So now, when there's something that I've already desire and I already have this addiction, and now I know that this can feed my addiction because it's feeding my addiction better than what the drug that was once used. You feel me? Shit crazy. Shit crazy, but that's what we're falling for. It's like, yo, I made a mistake, man. It just happened. It did just happen. And yeah, you were supposed to be kind, but addiction is deeper than that. We're all driven off of addiction. Some people can resist the addiction, say, I only want this drug. So I don't give a fuck who's flirting, who's doing what. I only want this drug. But it's other motherfuckers who's like, I need a drug. Mm. It's motherfuckers who say, I only need this drug. I need this drug, right? There's other motherfuckers who say, I need to be high. That's lust. Those are the two variations of lust. Some people can control it and say, I just need a drug. If I don't have that drug, I'll do without. But there's some people who say, fuck doing without. I gotta be high, bitch. I don't give a fuck what drug gonna give it to me. So now when we look at quote unquote the rebound phase, this is why motherfuckers don't. This is why I got that podcast episode on post-relationship analysis. I'm big on this shit. You gotta take some time, fuck a rebound. Go back into you. Love yourself. Don't lust yourself. Don't go out, start and seek things to make them desire you so they can become addicted again. You feel me? That's how hurt people end up hurting people. You feel what I'm saying? Because of lust. Because of the lust in the shit. Right? You got to go back into yourself and say, okay, let me break down this relationship. Let me figure like, no, motherfuckers want to go on to the next one. I need my addiction felt. And then when you hurt, you need it felt. You need it felt a lot more. Because chances are rebounds become easy when you have already created a trauma bond with a motherfucker. The person that's the love of your life, the person that the lust of your life. I'm gonna use that shit. The lust of your life is a trauma bond. So what you think happens when y'all break up and you're addicted to them? What are you going to go seek? You're going to go try to seek what they gave you that made you formulate the trauma bond in the first place in another person. So you get addicted to something else. And that's why rebounds be so dangerous, because it's like that person they don't know that they're just feeding an addiction. When you in a situation where you dealing with your new person or whatever the case may be, and you see your old person, or you have a conversation, y'all talk about the old person, you get sad and down, and you, oh man, it's like, and they sense that shit. What you're showing them is that I'm having withdrawal still. I need that drug. You gonna get me high? They're revealing their addiction right there. They're revealing the lust. They're revealing the addiction that they have right there. They're also simultaneously revealing what they have in you. If you are the rebounder, I mean the reboundee. If you are the person being rebounded on, like they're finding you, they are also finding that you feed that addiction. You feel me? That's what we be comparing. Oh, my last relationship ain't this. My last lady, like blah 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 blah. Like we do that shit off of a different level. You feel me? We say shit like that last relationship. You making comparisons to what gets you high or what got you high. This is a lust-driven reality, and we build relationships off of lust because we're all narcissists. Some good, some bad, but you're all gonna be narcissists in the world of lust. We're all fucking narcissists. You feel what I'm saying? Like we talk about narcissism, but what's the root of narcissism? What's the root of narcissism? Lust. Even if you look at the story, the Narcissus, whatever the nigga's name was, he looked in the water at his reflection because he lusted over himself. And now we have defined love, and we have attributed love as being the addiction that precedes the desire. He had a desire for himself and became addicted to that shit, and that made him a narcissist. Lust was the root of that shit. We're in a society built off of lust, and every relationship, every we encounter we have is built off of lust. How do you feed my addictions? Do you feed my addiction? Or I outgrew my friends, or whatever the case may be. Whatever addiction that they serve, you don't have anymore. You found another drug. You feel what I'm saying? I get high off life from multiple things. You feel me? And I had to become cognizant of this shit because I was making friend circles and friend groups and shit from different pockets of life. I got people that are specifically, on we vibe on a specific level of fucking mastering the market shit. I got another group where it's just masculinity shit. I got another group that's just plant-based shit. I got another group that's entrepreneur shit. You feel me? But none of these motherfuckers overlap. So I got to be a different person in all of these things. So therefore, I can't be addicted to one because one's gonna pull me out because they're all different drugs, metaphorically, of course. But when I look at it from a perspective of love and not lust, that's when the reality changes because love is the power for betterment that leads to correction. You feel what I'm saying? I should be getting better. I should be getting better in life. I should not be having my addictions fed. You feel me? And this leads me to the second story. And this is the one that I was able to catch it on. Me and this person, we were, man, she was bad. Like she was everything that I like, everything that I wanted potential wise, the way her mind was and everything like that. But I had to come to terms with the reality that she lusted over me. She lusted for me. And it wasn't just about sex. That's what people will miss lust because they don't see sex involved. It was a long distance thing. And I'm not saying she lusted over me as a bad thing. Understand, never once in this entire situation. This is why I talked about even absolutes. That I see things as absolutes. I never said lust was good. I never said lust was bad. I'm saying this is what lust is. We have to have definitions for shit. We have to concretely define shit in order to truly address it. You feel me? That's why I never said good or bad. You feel me? Our energy, our vibe was dope. It was amazing. However, it was being built off of lust. She was coming off of a previous situation. A previous situation, so much so that my book was the book that she was reading to her boyfriend, husband at the time. And it was like the drug shifted. The high shifted because you're literally shifting your desire. Your desire goes from a man that you're reading a book to a man who writes books. Different. You don't have to read to that man anymore. It's different. The drug is different. So the high lasted for like eventually the desire left. The high capped off. But one thing that I always pride myself on is that even if you come into my space with lust, like, and we ended ultimately because the desire stopped because it was like, my thing was I got entrepreneur shit to get right. And you got shit that you wanted to get right that you told me to. So let's take this time as long distance it could work. Let's take our time. She had to see me. She had like, that was something that I had to learn to process. And I had to realize that when I approach relationships, this is why a lot of the relationships and talking that I've been in for like, that's why they haven't been working because I did not register that, yo, I'm trying to love you and you trying to lust over me. You desire me. I love you. Like you desire me and you have an addiction to what you desire out of me. And when you see the other levels of me, some of the shit you won't get addicted to, some of the shit you won't desire at all. But that's the absolute of who it is. You can only stay in that space if you love me. But if you lust over me, I got to stay in that space in order for you to feel comfortable, in order for you to keep remaining, just to keep being addicted. You feel what I'm saying? And that's how our situation was. So I'm like, yo, why we ain't got to rush? It's like, yo, I'm not like, I get it. She was on a space of, I want to do this like in these moments. But it was different because it's the societal propensity of what lust really is to us, what we think love is. You feel me? And this is why I said I pride myself on the fact that I love people. I love the women that I'm in relationships with from the power of correction, right? Because even when I can no longer get them high, because the desire and everything is like, it's okay, starting to get plateau off and shit. Like, even though I can't get them high anymore, I'm the highest they ever got. I was the best blunt they smoked. I was that dopamine. I was that for them. I was that addiction. Everything else is like, yo, this shit don't hit the same. It don't. It don't. That's why people come back. People be thinking, yo, retrogrades. No, for me, They be like, when retrogrades come back, your ex is coming. Like, you know why your ex is coming back? And you know why the door is open? Because you're addicted. You do what I'm saying? You're addicted. It's on some might as well shit because it's in the air. You smell it, it triggers you. Now you're addicted. That desire came back. To test and see, are you still addicted to it? The answer is yes. When your exes can come back into your space, you are still addicted to them. And I know, motherfucker, oh, I gotta block this person. I gotta because you know that you don't want to feed into that addiction because once you do, it's gone. And when I tell people shit like, yo, my exes don't come back, I removed the desire from them. When we broke up, there was no ambiguity. When we split, when we stopped talking, whatever the fuck motherfuckers is calling it these days. When we separated, there was no point that I left it open for the desire to remain. Therefore, they had no reason to remain addicted to me. They couldn't. They couldn't because I like it's not gonna be a oh we'll come back to this later or let's see how things play out. Go live your life, whatever the case may be. It's like no, this is done. It was fun. We had fun. I appreciate everything that you do. There's not like I don't have to block you. I don't have to delete your number because the phones and shit keep numbers now. Like you can't get rid of the motherfucker if you wanted to. You feel me? I went from an Android to an iPhone and shit, right? As soon as I transferred my Google shit over, all of the numbers came back. Numbers that I had deleted are back. I'm fuck it. So, but at the end of the day, they're not numbers that I have to worry about. There's not a thought of what is this motherfucker doing? The addiction's gone because there's no desire for that person. When your exes come back, your desire conjures them up, whether you want that addiction or not. That's why when the retrogrades come, oh, my exes are coming back because you know what you addicted to. You know that drug that gets you. That's why you fall back into it and you relapse into the. Why do we keep starting over? We on and in off again because you're relapsing. You're fucking relapsing. I love the way this fucking metaphor is going because this is what lust really is. Lust is a fucking addiction that is predicated by desire. Love ain't that. Love ain't that. When you truly know what love is, you stop. You no longer need drugs anymore. It's ironic, but it's at the same time it's very parallel and coincidental how we call people snacks. I think I did a podcast episode on it. It probably was an impromptu too about like snacks and meals, or that's a snack, this person's a meal, or whatever the case may be. And we know snacks are bad for us, but why do we keep eating them? Because we're addicted to them. The subconscious and unconscious mind tell the truth a lot if we listen to the shit. It makes connections for us to say, hey, are you looking at this? You feel me? Motherfuckers will eat a whole bag of chips and say, I knew I shouldn't have eaten that, but damn it, it was good. And they'll do it again later because they're addicted. Motherfuckers will know that this motherfucker ain't shit. I do not need to be fucking with you. I do not need to continue this reality with you, but I'm gonna fuck with you again because I'm addicted. On paper, the shit don't make sense, but in reality ain't paper, bruh. Sis, all y'all. Reality ain't motherfucking paper. But in order for you to truly start to love and be in love and be in situations where you can actually be in love and rise in love, there's like when we're falling in love, we're really falling to the trap of lust. You don't fall in love, you rise in it. Love is supposed to make you better and elevate you. Why the fuck would you fall? Anything that is a fall is a descent. Go through, think about this. Go through every single association with the word fall and tell me anything that's good out of it. Outside of the mental conceptualization of falling in love. Falling in love is the only fall that is quote unquote good. Every other fall is bad. The fall of an empire. You feel me? Falling down a fucking hill. There is no good fall that you can have, but you fall in love. No, you fall into the trap of lust that is masked as love. You rise in love. Love makes you better. And this is why that battle was coming in because there's a lot of women in my past that if I wanted to, I can go back to. And this is not like on no braggadocious type shit or yo, because I'm that nigga and shit. Not on the fact that I feed the addiction part. Because I'm not that person anymore that feel like I used to there was this woman that I used to deal with in undergrad, right? She fucked with me solely because I had waves. I'm bald now. I can't get her on paper because I'm not what she desires to be addicted to. You feel what I'm saying? On that paper side. But in the reality of it all, what I did was different. So it's like no matter what, I this is how you end up setting standards for people that, they leveled up. This is why you should never get offended if somebody lateral moves or they step down and be like, yo, that person ain't got shit on me. Because you got to realize it was never about you. It was about the addiction. This person could feed the addiction better than you. They could probably feed the addiction and shut the fuck up about the desire. You can't. That's pretty much simply what it could be. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm saying it because, like, now back to the point I was making with the fact that the women that I can go back to, if I wanted to go back to, I could, based off of the fact that it was not lust on my end. It was love. This is why I tell people from the job, like, I love people from the jump. When I start a relationship with somebody, I love them. You feel me? I love them. Because at this point, we got to get better. But the moment you start losing my love when you can't be corrected, not controlled. I don't want that to be a thing like, oh, you want people to like, no, you can't be correct. Like, if I see the potential in you, if I know that you can hit, if I know that you can bench press 225 and you can hit it 15 times. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let you play with me and put 145 on the rack and struggle at 7. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm just not gonna do it. For the sake of having a gym partner, that's lust shit. Oh, you can come in, like work out how you work out. No, no, no. We here to fucking work. We're here to fucking grow. You feel me? So if you pushing 225 and you can hit 15 times, I need to see you hit it 16 times. Matter of fact, I need you to put 250 up now. I need you to grow. I need you to get better. You feel what I'm saying? That don't leave motherfuckers. That don't leave motherfuckers. When you leave a motherfucker with that kind of imprint, because like, damn, with you, I always got better. You feel me? The women that I took serious, the women that I took serious and I met their parents, I met their mothers and shit, their mother said the same thing about me. You were so much better when you met him. Like he had a positive impact in your life. I had one woman, that song by what is it? Aaliyah. Well, it's originally by the Ozzy Brothers, but Aaliyah, At Your Best, right? Because of me, her experience with me, she said, I finally understand the meaning of this song now. It's like, at your best, you are love. You're a positive, motivating force within my life. I never let her slip. I never let her slip. I gave her ideas. I gave her everything. I pushed her. I never let her slip. Never let them slip. Like, cause you was a reflection of me. The fuck? You was a reflection of me. You dig what I'm saying? How that look if I'm reaching certain peaks and you not, you feel me? But then you gotta watch those relationships because it ain't always gonna be like that. But when you in that lust driven shit, that shit gonna fuck with you. That shit gonna fuck with you. It's gonna make motherfuckers become addicted. Like, that's why it's like, I ain't gonna hold you. I kind of fed into it in the beginning. Like the whole social media, shit, and like women peace king. I know they lusting over me. Like, this is why I don't be. This is why I really don't be taking this shit seriously. Like when women be shooting they shot sometimes. And shit, I let time play out. Like we can literally quote unquote talk for a whole year, as from a distance perspective and shit, while I'm trying to get to know you. Cause I don't lust over you. I'm not addicted to you. And that's the issue. Like when people say shit, like when you hear people talk about, oh, if you can go 3-4 days without speaking to somebody, then you ain't really. No, you're upset that they're not addicted to you. So you feel like you're not desired. No, that ain't got shit to do with it. Every moment I live for any relationship that I'm involved with is, will this encounter make us better? Will us talking right now make us better? Will our experience make us better? That's how I always think about everything. If I'm talking to you and everything is negative, everything is about what the fuck you can't do, what the fuck you won't do, what the fuck is hard for you, eventually you're gonna fall out of my space because I can't get addicted. I can't get jiggy with that shit. But that's what you're addicted to. You get addicted to the medicine. Like, this is why I start charging motherfuckers for like chatting with scene and shit. Like, you feel me? Motherfuckers will just hit my DMs and I'm like, and they get addicted to my medicine. They keep coming back. All right, you gotta pay for this pharmacy, baby. You feel me? But at the same time, I have to be in a position where it's like, yo, I can't allow you to be addicted to me. Don't do that. You feel me? This is why you hear me say, one, fact check me. For two, then, like whatever you feel like I'm saying, treat it like a lie and go fact check it. I want you to do that. Do not become addicted to what I do. Do not become addicted to who I am. Don't deify me. Don't hold me to a certain standard that is like, I can't fuck up. I had this joke that it's not a joke, it was a reality, but it was funny. One of my travelers and shit, I had made a post about that. It was when that little blue evil eye shit came out. I thought it was a fucking bullseye. I didn't know what it was. I had no idea what it was. But in the same token, because I dropped so much information, I give so much content, I quote unquote know so much that motherfuckers literally look at it like I should know certain shit. So when I posted it, it was like it brought the human side back from people. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, stop playing. I was like, yo, what the fuck is this little blue bullseye shit everybody got in their bio? What the fuck is that? Granted, I could have looked it up. I could do whatever. But it's like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody was like, are you serious? Yeah. When the fuck do I play with a question like the fuck? Like, and it was like, only one person broke it down. And everybody else was just laughing like, I can't believe you didn't know that. Teach me, motherfucker. But their addiction won't like their addiction is not required for them to give me the information back because they still view me as somebody who should have knew it already. I've had conversations like, what? You don't know that? I hear the condescendment in your voice, if that's a word. I hear that shit in your voice. I hear sarcasm. I hear utter disrespect and disdain for the fact that I know shit that you don't know sometimes. And now that you know a little something, you want to one up me. I can't believe you didn't know that. I can't believe you did. Congratulations. You learned something that I didn't know. Whoop-de-fucking do. But let's not throw the shots and the shades and shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that I was talking about. Like, I learned through the social media shit, like over time, it's like it'd be a lot of lust. Peace, King. That's one of the reasons why I kind of broke down my page and broke down my space to, you know what? I'm not gonna be up there no more. I mean, I go there, but I'm not gonna be up there no more. Like, I want to keep this balance and shit no more because I mean, it gets to a point where it's just like, don't lust over me. Don't lust over the reality. And it's like, again, not from sex. There's people who, when I took my break, yo, on some real shit, I really wasn't coming back to that page. I'm gonna tell you the reason why I'm coming back. Then I'm gonna get back on point. The reason why I came back to that page is because I had an epiphany that, like, I built all of the shit that I built as me, right? But in trying to build the new brands, it was like they're all extensions of me. But in trying to build the other brands, it was like I had to start from scratch. But I would notice that I'm changing personalities around this motherfucker. Not on no schizo shit, but like mastering the market, I don't think like I do when I'm in so mode. So I don't think like I do if I'm in hitting the raw mode. Hitting the raw mode, I don't think like I do if I'm in merch mode. So it's like, but that's all me. All of these things are pieces of who I am. This is what it's supposed to be. So I was talking to one of my homegirls, and she was like, and it was crazy because she had just bought a Paula Cafe hoodie. All right, so Paula Cafe is like the new the 2.0 branding of peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. 'Cause that shit, I'm still gonna type it at the end of my captions and shit, but you're gonna see now hashtag Paula Cafe. Like, I've decided to make peace, love, knowledge, and freedom a word. That's where Paula Cafe clothing came from, because before it was just Scenes merch, a totally different extension. I was like, yo, Paula Cafe, like everything needs to be consistent and the same. So I was looking at it from that perspective, and I realized like the people that were most active on all of them were active on all of them. It's kind of like the same people, but it's like it's everybody that came from the hub. You feel what I'm saying? So I created that. I created that and I came back on that page. I said, I'm gonna just put everything together in this one page. Connect my Twitter and before like everything just needs to be one. I don't need multiple things like that. That's stressing me out. That's too crazy because everybody's here. And then they're taking it where it needs to go, but everybody's here. You feel what I'm saying? So I came back to the page for that. But when I came back, it's like, damn, bro, we missed you, yo. Damn, I missed these captions. Then it's like lust, lust. My DMs were filled with people saying, yo, welcome back. Yo, I missed these captions. My feed wasn't the same without you know. But now, granted, it won't shit without saying. We can keep it a beam with it. You feel me? But on some real shit, it was seeing that and like, okay, it wasn't me they missed. It wasn't me they missed. It was the addiction that I fed. Here's why I say that. Because at any given moment, those same people, they could have came to Master the Market. I was posting over there. They could have came to the Justine podcast. I was posting it. They can listen to the podcast. They didn't. They were addicted to this particular thing I was giving them. That was on me. I made them addicted. But I made them addicted based off of a societal structure already that we're in a lust mentality. We build shit off of lust. We build relationships with people off of lust. So the relationship that they built with me off of social media is lust driven. They desire what I put out. Now, granted, because I understand this, I'm able to put out content that hits. I'm able to give you information that makes it, that can grow you as a person. So even when I know how society works, I know how to maneuver the way the universe wants us to move. And I'm still going to give you that shit. So I always put through love because everything that I give you, knowing that if you're going to be like, this is one of the reasons why motherfuckers, quote unquote, become the fans. They become the, and I'm not saying I got fans. I'm not saying y'all like that, but I'm speaking in the terms of it's because every desire, for the desires that you have, I'm able to feed your addiction and make my drug stronger for you. You dig what I'm saying? Some of y'all have been in this space with me since 2015, 2016. You've seen every bit of my growth. You've seen my drug get stronger every single time. And with society already building that desire, the desire remained because I kept getting better and I just made my drug stronger. You feel what I mean? So now you pick your poison. You feel me? But knowing that love comes through the, love is the power. Like, I love y'all. So if I'm going to give y'all something, like, I'm going to give y'all some shit that's going to make you grow. So now when we hear information that opposes to us, when we're, like, love is the power for betterment. Like, if we look at, I'm going to say this and I'm going to start trying to tie this up. It's getting longer. But when we look at the entire world, right? When we look at how things have been playing out for the last couple of years, right? A lot of shit was offensive to people. A lot of shit has been hurting people because it don't feed their addictions. It don't feed their addictions that are predicated by their desires. You feel what I'm saying? Cancel culture. Oh, cancel culture is some bitch made shit. Cancel culture is a bunch of lust driven motherfuckers. Cancel culture is the epitome of how life is set up, that lust runs everything. We build relationships off of lust. And when you no longer feed our addiction, we cancel you. Soon as you say something I don't like, I cancel you. I don't give a fuck. This is why I built my brand off being just seen. I can say what the fuck I want to say and don't care because it's not on the fact that I'm arrogant and will say I'm willing to deal with any bit of consequences that come with what the fuck I say. For the cancel culture shit, if you're not feeding their addiction because of the desires that they have, they're going to scream, oh, you got to be canceled. You feel me? Adele just got in trouble because she says, I enjoy being a woman. Nigga, who the fuck cares? Motherfuckers is really mad. Oh, that's offensive to transgender women. That she said what she enjoys. She ain't talking about none of y'all motherfuckers. She's talking about herself. She said, I enjoy being a woman. It's dope. Like, this is like, you feel me? Would you get offended by a motherfucker who says, I enjoy smoking weed? Would you? No, you wouldn't give a fuck. Why? Because chances are you're not a weed smoker. So it doesn't affect your, like, it doesn't matter to you. So it's like, what the fuck does she have to do? Because she's a real woman. She's a real woman. The addiction is to be. I ain't gonna waste that energy on that shit. But that's what cancel culture is. Cancel culture is the response to lust and not being lusted over. You don't lust over me. You don't make me feel this way, so I got to cancel you, and I got to bring my whole community with you to my whole community with me to cancel you because you said something that did not feed our addictions, did not keep our lust intact for whatever it is that we desire. Who the fuck cares? Because it's not about, because if you really trying to live this world, you can't be in lust. You got to be in love, and this is what they talk about. This is why lust is one of the deadly sins. It ain't just sex. It ain't just sex. Motherfuckers be like, lust is there's only 7 deadly sins. 7. Deadly means the shit'll kill you. There's only 7 sins that'll kill you. Lust will kill you. But see, lust is not gonna kill you just physically. Because we look at sex, it's like, yeah, lust will make you catch something hot that you can't get rid of. But what about mentally and spiritually? Because it's about addictions. Not only is it about addictions, it's about addictions that are predicated by desires and how you feed them. And don't forget to check out Cafe Clothing, formerly Just Scenes merch. Get all of your intricate designs crafted specifically for the melanated being to develop a positive imagery within self and to have a little bit of fun in the process. From the peace, love, knowledge, and freedom to the dead horses and water designs, all the styles are crafted for the imagery to make you feel as you're supposed to feel. Because as I always say, the best way to fit in is to stand out. And what better way to stand out than with your exclusive styles from Cafe Clothing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end it there, yo. I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. I feel like this was a real good episode. And you know what? I'm glad I did an impromptu because at least this is gonna give y'all 2 good ones back to back. Because I'm dropping Sofa 3. I mean, not Sofa 3, the Sofa conversation still on Saturday. But that episode, I just didn't I don't know. I felt it, but I ain't feel it like I normally feel conversation. So it's like that one it's gonna be kind of dry. I'm gonna give you a heads up right now. It's gonna be kind of dry. Just off of playback, how I listen to it. But you never know. Y'all might fuck with it. But yeah, this is lust, man. Like this is what it is. And I felt like this needed to be discussed because everybody wants love while expressing that they really want lust. I want somebody to be addicted to me. I want somebody to be so desired. I want to be so desired by somebody to become addicted forever. Would you want somebody to smoke crack forever? Addiction is not good. Let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you like this. Addiction is not good. No addiction is good because that addiction can control you. When that addiction controls you, whoever controls the stimulus controls you. You dig what I mean? When you're addicted to sex, whoever has sex with you controls you. You feel me? When you're addicted to food, whoever controls your food controls you. You feel me? Whatever it is that you're addicted to, whoever controls that resource controls you. That's why lust is a deadly sin. That's why it can kill you. You feel me? Because the addictive nature, the addiction that is tied to being lustful, that addiction that is there is what will fuck you up in the long run. Because it can feel good. Oh yeah, I'm addicted to this. That's why what makes you laugh is gonna make you cry. You feel me? We talk about those 40, 60-year-old relationships, marriages that lasted of old and, like the back in the day love, right? Would you really want to be addicted to something for 60 years? A crack addict ain't gonna live 60 years if they keep smoking crack the whole time. Weed is different. I'm not gonna get into that shit, but you feel what I mean? Like to have an addiction consume your life. That's what lust is. We're addicted to so much shit People be thinking, oh, we got an addictive nature. That's what, like, no, we're built in a culture based off lust, and the root of lust is addiction and desire. The moment you desire it, you have to find the moment you desire something, you go towards what's going to feed the addiction that you have for that desire. Whatever feeds it more, you stay there and eat. You feast there. It's that simple. It's that simple. But we live in this world where, because of that, we don't elevate ourselves the right way. So we continually make lateral moves as far as relationships and any kind of connection that we make with people. It's a lateral move rather than any ascending move, because there's no love there. Because once, like I said, when somebody really loves you, it's uncomfortable as shit. Lust is very comfortable. Lust is very comfortable. I don't want no relationship. I don't want no experience. I don't want interaction. Any interaction is comfortable. Push me, grow me. Now, this ain't to say destroy, because you have the negative side of the lust when the addiction becomes bad. You feel me? When the addiction comes bad, like I said, love is a powerful correction to betterment. If what I'm doing does not bring betterment, it leads to your detriment. That's hatred. That's hatred. I broke that down in Soul 3, but that's hatred. You feel what I'm saying? Or it's a lower level of lust, and it's lusting in the sense that um my addiction has to be fed first, not you. Fuck, shit crazy. Shit crazy. It's because of the lust, like, and appreciation is so real that we don't really look at what appreciation really is. Like, this is why I did. Like, I ain't gonna say this is why, because this episode follows what I said before when I talked about how appreciation from a different perspective, a different dynamic, is like when you appreciate something, you increase it in value. How are we in relationships with people we appreciate and those people aren't getting better in our presence? Like, we utter the words, yo, I appreciate you so much. I say the shit in the podcast. You feel me? I'll be like, yo, I appreciate those who tip, donate, and sponsor to the podcast. Low key, I'm right. You feel me? But I'm saying it from a different perspective. I'm not saying like I appreciate y'all as far as, you know, I am making y'all grow. That's why y'all donate to the podcast. People pour into what pours into them. You feel what I mean? People will pour into what pours into them. So to show appreciation, people think I'm gonna show appreciation by this. Like, to really show appreciation, when you actually break down the word and look at it, it is to make whatever you're showing appreciation to get better. It has to gain value. How do you show appreciation? In a lustful situation, the relationship, have you ever gained value? Did the person that you lusted over, loved, thought you loved, did they gain value? And that's a misconception, because a lot of people be thinking like you can benefit from something and not gain in value. Just because a person can benefit off of you doesn't mean that you provided value for their life. And just because you benefited off of people does not mean that they have added value to your life. That's the difference between love and lust. Love brings value into your shit. Lust continues to desire by making you remain the fucking same. When you grow and you develop and you change and shit start falling off because motherfuckers ain't, they're like, no, there's no addiction, there's no desire. They don't desire that version of you. That's why a lot of us stay stuck in fucking life, because we want to be desired, because it's the lust driven society. We want to be, people are liking me like this. I gotta stay here. You feel me? I gotta stay here. That's why when I first, like when I started getting into that woke bag, because I'm there. Don't get me wrong. I can go there with the best of them. But when I started going, I had to stay there. I didn't like staying there, because sometimes I want to be ratchet. You feel me? Just like the times when I don't always want to be ratchet, I can put some deep shit into the motherfucker. Like, I don't, you feel me? I want to be just seen. I want to be fucking me at all times. To do that, I can't feed into motherfuckers who become addicted to me. I can love them. You feel me? I can love them, but I can't be in that lustful space. where I have to create the desire to be addicted to? No. That requires way too much. You feel me? That requires way too motherfucking much. I ain't got time for that shit. That's why I tell people like people be thinking I'm being arrogant when I say this shit, but this is why I mean it. I be like, yo, you're seen, I'm felt. Like that's why I don't have to be shown. Like motherfuckers ain't gotta see me all the time. And my impact remains. Because of my essence, my presence and my absence are equally felt. God damn. I'll be cooking this shit. You feel me? This ain't just because when I was gone, like this time, and like when people were just refreshed that I'm back and everything. Like, no, I'm not. I knew that before I even left. My absence and my presence is equally felt because my essence is intact. Because I bring my essence to the situation, and I don't want it to be lust over this. I'm gonna stay here. No, no, because I don't gotta stay here no more. Like I don't have to. When I'm gone, I'm like I've already left lasting impacts on so much shit. You feel me? That's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in that space. But because of our society, everything is built off lust. Literally, everything is built off motherfucking lust. And it's the lust that has us bound. Because we don't understand. We really don't understand the shit that we're doing. But we're building relationships off of this and we wonder why we got to keep that addiction. Nobody can stay addicted to something that they do not like anymore for that long. You can't spend forever. You cannot be addicted to something forever if you do not desire it. You do what I mean? If you do not desire something, you cannot be addicted to it forever. But that's what we want out of relationships. We got to renew our wedding vows. What the fuck we have to renew them for? Because I'm not addicted to the old vows we had anymore. I don't desire the old vows we had anymore. They stale. It's wall art now. We know, like now we need to reestablish what the fuck we're doing. You feel me? But if there was love involved, it's almost like the vows are being renewed all the time because we have to keep getting better rather than having to. It's just the addiction ain't strong enough anymore when you got to renew your vows every 5 to 10 years. Yeah, I get it. It's a dope celebration. Whoop de fucking do. Woohoo. But let's keep it a bean. What are you really saying on the inside? And that's what this shit is built on. That's why it's important to actually know what love is. That's why I say love is the power for betterment through correction. All this other shit is lust. Motherfuckers be like, I knew the moment. Like, this is why I tell people you can never stop loving anybody. If I ever loved you, I still love you now. Can I fuck with you? Probably not. Because if I know that I can't make you better and you can't make me better, that's like, but that I never stop loving people. Ever. When you can stop loving something, you're not addicted to them anymore. And that's what stops. I don't love that person anymore. There's just no addiction to them anymore. And no desire. But you always love them. That's the reason why people say you always love somebody no matter what. Like if you ever loved somebody, you always love them. And that's true. Even the ones that did me dirty, the one that broke my heart to my car, I still love her. I can't shake that. Like that's an experience that I really had. When I go back to the moments that I can't just go back to the bad moments and think like, no, when I go back to any moment, because we had like almost 2.5 years of experience together. She was in my life and impacting my life for like 2 years. I can't just erase that shit because I'm angry or because I'm mad. That's that lust shit. I'm trying to erase it because I don't want to have the addiction anymore. Because the good things were what made me be addicted to it. So I try not to think of the good things by amplifying the bad. No, I have absolved myself by seeing them as an absolute thing. This was my experience with her. I still love her. I don't know shit like I'll call her right now. We can start over. No, ma'am. No, we are not those people anymore. Because that's another part that I add. I still love her, but I'm not the man who was in love with her. That's how it's justifiable. That's how it's like, oh, I did get over her and I still love her, but I'm not the man that loved her. I'm not the man that fell in love with her. That's why I know I can't love her again. That's why I know there's no reason for I don't have a reason to go back. I'm not that person. You know why? Because I love myself enough to keep growing, keep bettering myself, to keep correcting myself through betterment, not lust over myself. And that's another thing that a lot of people get stuck on, self-lust. I'm gonna dedicate. I think I should do another. Nah, I ain't gonna do another one on self-lust because this should be enough. But a lot of people get wrapped up in self-love. They think they love themselves, but they'll be creating an addiction to themselves. Like motherfuckers be like, it's about loving myself. And all you do is do things that make you desire yourself. You don't do the things that make you despise who you are, that make you need to change realities. Talk your shit, Sane. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Co-reality, right? Because a lot of us do that shit. I've done it myself until I had to come to terms with reality. I used to think I was loving myself and I was really lusting over myself. I desired something in myself and a vision of myself, and I created an addiction to it. And it made me stay in a box. When I couldn't break out of certain things, like I don't want to do this because that's this. I don't want to do this because that's that. You feel me? This is one of like when I started my entrepreneurship, this is why I built it off just saying you cannot put me in a box anymore because I broke all of the possibilities of a box being put on me. I got this idea from 50 Cent. They were like, yo, he was on the Breakfast Club and Charlamagne asked him, like, yo, how do you get away with the shit that you say? He said, cuz I don't go into it as a mogul businessman. I'm talking shit as a rapper. Oh, he's just a rapper. That's 50 Cent. That's not Curtis Jackson. That's 50 Cent talking shit. That's what he do. He came out doing that shit. He controls the boxes he goes in. That's power. Fucking ironically, right? But he controls the boxes he goes in. You feel me? A lot of people can't do that. It's a level of self-love that you have to have because you got to be able to talk to yourself and be in your absolute space, your good and your bad. Make the best of that. Or you can make the worst of it. But you have to be able to see it fully. You feel me? I was definitely a self-luster at one point in time. You feel me? Most of us become real self-lusters after our breakup. I know nothing was wrong with me. I know they ain't really do shit. I mean, they won't shit. It wasn't me. I gave them everything. Blah, 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 blah. Motherfucker, we developed that lust. To start to create this mentality in ourselves that creates a desire that we become addicted to the good things that we did to that person. Or the good things we did to that person in light of, good did for that person in light of how it ended. But what you don't understand is the start and end of a relationship is dependent upon two motherfuckers. It ain't one person causing or breaking. It's the harmony of how you two work together. Did your harmony create music or make noise? When the shit ends devastatingly, it made noise. Well, I was playing my trumpet, motherfucking, I was playing the right notes. That was them that wasn't. It doesn't matter. Your two instruments don't fucking work together. It makes noise either way. The songs that you're playing don't work together. It makes noise either way. The tempos you're playing on don't make music. They make noise. But that's what lust is. Rather than, yo, do I need to adjust my tempo to match yours? No, this is what we're playing. You're going to play what I want to play. That's how we build relationships. And then when we have that self-lust, when it starts to develop into self-lust and we think it's self-love, we're not correcting ourselves. We're staying the exact same and just making ourselves become addicted to it. Go involve ourselves in circles and spaces of motherfuckers to do the exact same shit. I got a podcast episode on that, Big Fish in the Small Pond Complex. It's an entrepreneur's episode, but we don't want to leave that space because we've outgrown it. We stay there. That's lust. That's self-lust. I'm the biggest motherfucker here. I'm the shit. I'm not changing shit. Fuck how people may have perceived that I contributed to this relationship. I didn't do the bad shit. You feel me? Even if you did all that good shit, and even the smallest thing is that you let it happen. You let all that bad shit build up and happen. You're still a contributor to the shit. And if you're going to self-lust over yourself for that, that's a problem. The fact that you have a high fucking tolerance. Whoop-de-doo. That's what we start lusting over. We create the desire and the addiction to the fact that we have a high fucking tolerance and we project it as love. I got unconditional love. No, you don't have fucking boundaries. Self-love is going to actually get you because you're going to start correcting that shit. It's like, why did I stay in that relationship so motherfucking long? Like when I knew I should have been out. We got 2.5 years in. We were supposed to be out 6 months in. We broke up 6 months, and that was the first. I shouldn't have took her back. It was already done. You feel me? But like I said, it ties back into that dependable and dependent thing that men feel because of the lust-driven society. Yo, I need somebody who's gonna depend on. No, I need somebody who can find me dependable. Don't depend on me. Have your own dependency. But know that if you need me, you can call me. You feel what I'm saying? I'm the motherfucking like. It's this phrase I go by, and I'm gonna wrap it up with this. It's this phrase that I live by, and this is the most modest yet arrogant phrase that you'll ever hear me say. And it's you the type, because I heard it in battle rap. You the type to go get motherfuckers. I'm the motherfucker that motherfuckers go get. And I mean that shit wholeheartedly. I'm the people, like when people need clarity on certain shit, they come to me to figure it out. When my homies like, yo, I'm looking at this stock, which they call me. You feel what I'm saying? When homies that's trying to write books and art publish, they come to me. Any of my family, any of my friends, anything who's about to go buy a car, they come to me first. You dig what I mean? And I set that up for that. You feel what I mean? But that comes from the fact that it's derived from self-love rather than self-lust creation. Because they can find me dependable, but they don't have to depend on me. They're still gonna go buy their car themselves. I don't have to be there with them. I'm just, you know, they still gonna pick the stock however they're gonna pick it, but I'm giving them that cushion. You feel me? I'm dependable, but they don't depend on me. That's a stigma I had to break as a man that society is rooted in. Just that small delineation of understanding those two definitions and those two words and seeing how they work. But knowing deeper on that core that I was lusting over myself when I set that up. I was lusting over myself when I set myself up as this, and that's why just seen is just seen. It's a reminder, for one, that I'm my absolute self. For two, you feel me? Don't create this reality again. You're just seen. Don't create this reality again where people now gawk and lust over you. You create this like you make people desire you so you can feed that addiction. I don't have the addiction to feed anymore. I know that I'm me. You feel me? That's why you see me pivot, change when I want to learn certain things. It's like I do all of it. I seen a motherfucker like, yo, I followed you because I thought you were gonna be talking about stocks and shit, but you giving me gems on other shit in life. I know. You'll get some stock shit later, but that ties into what I was saying about consolidating everything. Because I've learned like it's not my products that people fuck with, it's me. I know as entrepreneurs, like, yo, you should already know that shit. Like you gotta experience shit to learn it. You can't certain shit you can be told all day long, but it has to resonate and register. That's why I had like 4 different pages and shit. And I was like, I gotta leave this one alone because this one's like, no, that's the one I need to put the most attention to and take the distraction off the other ones and put everything there. Because it's not the individual pieces that people fuck with, it's me. But they fuck with me because I love them. I love them in the sense that the information that I can give them, it makes them better. While anticipating and knowing that because the societal culture and imprint is based off of lust, they have created their desire for me and that I have to feed that addiction while showing them and tweaking the addiction to make sure it makes them better. I got a lot of work that I got to do, but I figured out how to do the shit. I'm revealing it, but whatever. You feel me? All because I had to step out of the mentality of lust and really step into love. Reevaluate how you view lust and reevaluate every relationship that you have with love and see does it play into the correction or the addiction? And you'll know whether you're in love or not. But I'm gonna go ahead and end it there because this one's long. And I got shit to do because this was an impromptu. It wasn't supposed to be planned. I got shit to do for real. Go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And with this little bit of information, pay attention to how children move. Children love from the beginning. This is why children are honest. The entire innocence of a child is about bettering the world. Children have an optimistic outlook. I'm not even gonna say optimistic. Children have an absolute outlook on life. We think it's optimism because we have not seen because we truly don't understand. We truly don't internalize both sides of this reality. But so we just call it optimism because it's children are all encompassing. They are the absolute. So we have to make sure they're not programmed into just lusting for things. Children will naturally make a situation better. Children will naturally understand how to see things as it is. If your breath stink, a child is not going to hide it from you. They're going to tell you. That's why I say children are so honest, because they're absolute. They don't know that what I'm saying to you is good or bad. It's just what I have to say. It's what needs to be said. It's an absolute expression. And then we learn to lust. We learn to create ourselves in a world where we establish a desire and feed the addiction to it through our behaviors. You feel me? The desire is to get appreciation from your parents, get good grades in school. To feed that addiction with my parents, I got to keep doing that shit. You feel me? But what about when I don't like school anymore? What about when I don't want to play this sport anymore? This is why I got to go from the other side. And understanding this, it helps you not try to live through your children, because it's not good. That is a lustful mentality. We have to break that and tap into love as correction, not control, correction. To really love somebody and to really correct them is to bring out the better in them, not the best, because the best is limiting. I talked about that before, but to bring out the better in them. When you see that they can be doing this, they're guided into the better part of that. You feel me? Otherwise, you feed the addiction and make them stay stagnant. So teach your babies early what you learn late, and teach your babies the conceptualization of true love rather than true lust. Most of the shit that we experience as quote unquote true love is really true lust. From true love's kiss and fucking fairy tales, it's lust, it's desire. And you become addicted to that desire. Shit crazy. Break that shit. Stop teaching our babies that, because they too programmed. You know they too programmed because we too programmed. And we just giving them what we already got. You feel me? So go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And I'm going to see y'all all on the next one. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. I'm out.